Power Automate set up a reminder flow from a date in a SharePoint list. I've got a simple SharePoint list where I've got some tasks. I've got the person the task is assigned to, the progress, the name of the task, the percentage, and when the task is supposed to start and when it's due. I'm going to start by creating a flow that will send a reminder out 2 days from when the task is due. I go to Automate and set a reminder and then select the correct column. In this case, I'm going to select commencement date. And then Power Automate will guide me or create a template for me. I can check that I'm signed in with the right account. This should be my @schools email account and click continue. I should change the name of the flow, otherwise I might have lots with the same name. So this one I'm going to call commencement of tasks. And then I can change how many days in advance this reminder or flow will send an email to me. So I'm going to change it to 2 and press create. And then done. Now, my SharePoint list doesn't look any different, but if I go to Power Automate now and I click in my flows, I will find a new flow in there, which is my get an email reminder commencement of task. So I'm going to go into that flow and I'm going to edit this flow. Now, the flow that Power Automate has created is one that's going to send an email reminder to me as the person that has created this task. But I don't want it to send a reminder to me, I want it to send a reminder to the person assigned the task. So I'm going to go in and edit this. Now, this there's one recurrence. I can edit this if I like. So if I want it to check that SharePoint list more than once a day, I can do that here. These ones here are creating tables for which to read the data from. Here is the input for the days. Because I don't need it to send an email to me, I can delete that get my profile. And then in the scope, I'm going to go in and change some things. So again, I don't need to change the top 2 or the SharePoint because that's already been connected, but I do want to change the condition. Now here you can see it's got nothing under yes, but in the no, I've got send me a reminder email. The top bit is fine, but I want to get rid of this. So instead I'm going to add an action and I'm going to type in send an email and select send an email version 2. Now I'm going to quickly have a look at this one. You see it doesn't have a 2, it's just got the subject. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this now because I don't want it sending me a reminder. I want it sending the person who the task is assigned. So in that field 2, I'm going to go to the dynamic content and go assign to email. And then I'm going to compose this email. So in the subject, I'm going to type in your task is due to start in 2 days. And add some dynamic content to tell people the name of the task. And then in the body of the email, I'm going to say hi, and then I want to put in the person's name. So to do that, I want to go back in, and this time I'm going to click on expressions and format data by examples. So here I can choose the person's email, so assign to email. And I know the format of everyone's @schools email addresses. It's the first name, dot last name, some numbers, and then @schools.sa.edu.au. So from here, I can say that the desired output is just the letters before that full stop. So I'm going to click on Get Expression, and then I can test it as well by putting in a test value and test expression, and if that works I can then click on apply and got it. So now it's going to say hi and the person's name, which it takes from the first bit of that person's email address, and put in a comment, and then I'm going to add some text so they know what the email's about. And now I want to make the details in a user-friendly format. And to do this, I'm actually going to insert a table. Now, I can't do that from the menu here. I have to actually go into the code, and I'm going to put in the code for a table. So the code for a table is table, and then here I'm going to put a border, and then I've got a table header, TH, and I'm putting a background color in for that. And that's the first column, and I'm going to keep the color in the second column as well. So there's my heading, column 1, column 2, and then the TR bit is my first row, first column, first row, second column. And I can repeat this bit of code for each row in my table. So first of all, I'm going to add in the task name, and for that I'm going to get some dynamic content again and just scroll down to task name. Then I'm going to go into my second row, first column, and I'm going to type in commencement date, and then I'm going to click into my second row, second column. Now if I just go in here and find commencement date in here, so if I don't see it, I can go into the search. It's actually going to give me a format that starts with year and then month and then day. So I don't want that. So again, I'm going to click in expression, format data by examples, find my commencement date in there, and then put in my example. So it automatically puts it in this format, year, dash month, dash day. And I want that instead to be the 10th of September, so the name of the month instead of a number, and I'm not going to worry about the year. Click on Get Expression, it's put that in an expression for me. Again, I can test that by entering something in here. I'm going to change it to the 11th and test, and then I'm going to click on Apply, and got it. Okay, so I want to add in another row in my table, so I'm going to put in the code for that. So TR for a row, and then TD for a column, and due date, and close that column off, \TD, and add my dynamic content again as an expression, format date by example, my due date, put in 2023-09-10, and then my desired output, and in this case I am going to put in the year, just in case my task goes for more than 12 months. Click Get Expression, and you can see because I've included the year this time as well, my expression when it pops up is going to be a lot longer. Again, I can test it and click on Test Expression and click on Apply, and got it. Okay, so after I've got those 3 columns, I'm just going to close that column and then close that row, and then I'm just going to add a bit at the end of my email to say who the email is from. Okay, once I'm done, I'm going to click on Save. And then I can test this flow to see what it's going to look like. So I'll click on Test and I'll manually test it and click Test and then Run Flow and Done. So I can see it's checked, it's built the table, it's checked the days, and in the conditions, it's gone in and created an email to send. Now this is the email. You can see it doesn't do spell check, so I've got to go in and fix that spelling error. And you can see my table doesn't look that great because I haven't added anything in that table header row, so it's just condensed that. So I could add some text or add some padding. And here I haven't got any line breaks, so I'm going to go back and add some line breaks in as well. So back in my flow, I'm going to click the back arrow and then the edit. I'm going to click into the scope, click in condition, click apply to each and send an email, and then I can go in and change that. So I'm going to add a break in here, which is angle bracket BR angle bracket, a break after cheers, angle bracket BR angle bracket, and I'm going to fix up that spelling mistake up the top. Once I've done that, I'm going to save it again. And I'm going to test it again. And click on Done. So I can see it's successful again, and now I can see that table looks nicer now that I've got something in my table heading row, and I've fixed up that spelling mistake. If I wanted to, I could go back in and add some more line breaks